Welcome back, everyone. Going into the second hour here where we try to get Dodger killed. Adam,
Oh,
please try.
awesome. All right. So when we come back, the last thing we saw was the black doors like closing. But when we come back, we see a scene from some time ago. Bon, I guess this would be you're doing this like in that like tiny shred of spare time that you can find, right? Because like you've just got your new hand and there's a time limit on this thing.
Right.
So I think that we see you at the end of like undoing the last bit of this puzzle. Now we've seen it before as like a knot, right? Like that's the form that it was in earlier.
Right. Right. In the Matrix, right?
Yeah, and so maybe we just see Bon just kind of like staring with the cord like trailing down, looking exhausted, sallow cheeked in the dark. Maybe we hear Breakdown like mutter something in the other room and like turn over in his sleep. And then we follow the cord into the Matrix and we see Bon in the empty black space, the Matrix grid line stretching out forever. And in front of you, we see you like peeling away the last of the knot. And inside, there's an egg, just like a regular chicken's egg, though rendered, in Matrix perfectness, balancing on the table, just kind of like sitting there.
Is it purple?
No,
Okay.
it's just like a regular white chicken's egg.
Bad under the dome joke. Sorry. Um.
God damn it.
uh,
I think I'm literally the only person that will get that that's watching the show.
um.
And so the code, you can see it, like Bonbon as the code. This is you've peeled away all the layers. It's the undefended code inside.
Right.
It's an executable. There's like a program that it'll run if you use it. But this is what you've been, and maybe we see you
Trying
look
to
up, yeah, maybe we see you look up and there's like a timer like counting down, and as soon as you've peeled away, the timer like stops, and you had like 2 hours left or something, like an hour and a half before you ran out of time.
Um. I think I would just immediately execute then.
Okay. All right. So you execute the program, and the egg cracks and peels away, and inside it's replaced with like a matrix rendered image of a person. Now it's a limited. You can tell just by looking at it. Your deck brings up information about the programs that it's running. Um, it's a like limited database program that you should be able to ask simple questions of, and it'll respond based on the information that it has. It can cross-reference information that it knows and be able to answer you within a certain degree of, depending on its complexity, a certain degree of accuracy. But the first thing that it says, it like appears in front of you, and it's a featureless sort of human shape, wearing a toga. It's kind of see-through and blue and kind of glowy, but the toga is a thing, and it's holding like a set of scrolls in its arm. You also notice that it has like an old like Greek or like Roman style like sword in its belt, but it has no no face on it. It's just like a flat mask, no hair, no other features.
And so I can just like prompt it to
Yeah,
answer a question.
yeah.
Um. Uh. Who wrote you is the first thing that I would ask.
All right. It says, I am a database program written to introduce you to the ways of the Figrians. They are those who wrote me.
The who?
The Figrians.
People that make
And then it's
fake
like,
news, man. Obviously.
yeah. And then it's like, basically like, it says, would you like to know more about our order?
Yes.
One moment. So it processes, and you can see like data transferring around inside of it before it speaks again. And again, it's just making noise in your like echoey space. And it says, the Figrians, known also as the Children of Kobayashi, are an organization of deckers, an elite organization to which you are now invited entry.
Mm, interesting. Um, the figurines that children. I would say, I guess, invited.
Yes, by
Question mark?
completing the test in the allotted time, the invitation has been extended, and it like reaches into the bundle of scrolls and pulls one out and hands it to you. This is a key. It contains an address. Visit it at any time.
I'm taking notes, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, who is Kobayashi?
So there's actually like an audible sigh, and it says activating audio recording, and another voice triggers, and it says if you're hearing this, it's like a man's voice. He sounds like quite young. If you're hearing this, you asked the question about Kobayashi, and I have to explain it to you. See, some of us, well, some of us are nerds. Look it up on the Matrix. It'll all make sense later. Basically, it's a reference, an old reference, about using the skills you have to cheat. So it kind of makes sense. It's not as good as the thing with the knot and the sword, but, you know, we take what we can get. There's an internal debate. We're looking into writing that one off of the scripture. Anyway, sorry. Or you're welcome if you're one of those.
And then it stops.
Yeah, and then it stops.
Okay. I guess I would ask, who are the other members? Or rather, I guess, how many other members are there?
The figurines number between 10 and 50. Numbers vary.
Okay. Can I store this then?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
It's like a program I could just store, right?
Yep. Yeah, you can just pull up the
Reference later.
Yeah, you can pull it up and reference later. You can just look at the like you can split the code too and just look at the data and search it with your computer. This is just like an easy interface to kind of intro you once you've opened the
Sure. And the address that I was given with the key, what is it, a physical address or is it an address in the Matrix? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Matrix address. It's a BBS, like a number and a series of encrypted passcodes and like how to get past the various like walls and blocks.
So, I mean, I'm trying to think right now if my instinct would kick in and I would just immediately do it, or this is a point in which Bon is like, fuck.
Well, I was gonna say maybe you hear like a real sound. Maybe you hear like breakdown being like Bon.
Yeah. Bloop.
Yeah, and it's like pull the cord out.
Breakdown like makes the decision like I've got too much shit on my plate right now, but I'll look into this when it's time.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So that's what we see as the like the as you like come out of the flashback is just you being like I'm coming, like unplugging and like getting up to go back to bed. Cool.
Awesome.
Okay. So is everybody like there waiting for breakdown, or Night's Ass and Crusher? Did you do something else?
Well, we'll let Kaitlyn answer first, then I'll figure out if I'm doing something.
I'm working on this drone. Like, I'm seriously putting everything into it. It I wasn't sleeping. I'm still not sleeping, but now I work on a drone instead of like staying up all night and
staring out the window.
Yeah, it's like with a baseball bat that's decked out in 6 flame decals.
So are you back at the apartment, or are you like with Gavin, or where are you working on the drone?
Maybe after we worked at it at my apartment for a while, he had to go water his plants some more, and so I followed him, and then we went back to his apartment because we worked
cool. So
there for so long.
We can see you in Gavin's apartment working on the drone. Okay, so Gavin, as promised, his apartment is like quite small and still pretty like unlived in. Like there's cardboard boxes everywhere, and he's unpacked some of the basic stuff. He's got his like TV and computer console, some of his like stuff in his room, but he's only got like a 2-room apartment, and so you're in his living room, probably just like sitting on the floor, and he's got like a tarp spread out that already had like drone stuff all over it.
I'm apprehensive. When I see everything's in boxes, I of course start asking questions like, oh, like you move a lot or something? Like, what's going on here?
He's like, oh, yeah, I mean, kind of. I don't know, I have a hard time staying in one place. I don't make friends easy, I guess.
I stare at him until he says something else.
Yeah. He just like stares at you for a while and he's like, well, want something to drink?
Sure.
Okay. So he just goes out into the kitchen area.
I rummage through the closest box.
Okay. All right. You find like a bunch of like sports clothing, like a couple of jerseys and like a pair of like running shoes. And then at the bottom there's a like a framed photo of what looked like a bunch of like high school aged like kids, and they look to be like a sports team or something. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So he's out in the other room. You can hear him digging around. And he's like, you can hear like glass bottles clacking and stuff. And he's like, I don't have much. Do you want? What time is it? Yeah, it's late enough for. You want a beer? I think I have. And he like, you can hear more digging. He's like, I think I have. No, that's expired. Ooh, we do not want to drink that.
Beer expires?
He's like, no, sorry, not the beer. I bought some. Never mind. And he like comes back out, and he's holding like two like bottles of beer. He just kind of holds them up like.
I inspect my glass. I like hold it up to what little amounts of light are in this apartment. I'm assuming. Just gonna look at it.
I mean, it's a sealed bottle, so it's fine. He hasn't poured it into a glass or anything for you.
All right. Is it a twist off or do I need a bottle opener?
You need an opener for it.
Well, I just have Mr. Extreme open it for me then. I'm probably like
just
carrying
hold
him
it up
in my
and it
arms.
flies over.
Yeah, with his rotors.
Mr. Extreme, he's like pops it up for you. You know he's got a bottle opener on that thing. Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, you do that, and Gavin has already like managed to get his off. He's got like a keychain with the bottle opener, and he's like, "Cheers."
I mentioned that I saw like the sports clothes. I act as if the box was open or something. I'm assuming it was probably taped. And so I asked him about that. Like, oh, is this one of your skills? You're some kind of track athlete?
He's
master?
like, oh God, no. Why? I was gonna throw those out, and then Mom was like, "Ooh, don't throw them out," but she didn't have any room for them. So I've got this box of embarrassing garbage. Like, no, and he like walks over and like closes it. He's just do not look at those. Pretend you never saw that. It's fine, and just like shoves it into a corner.
Were you sponsored? Who's your sponsor?
He's like, it was I was on a high school. Never mind. I really, really wanted to play Urban Brawl when I was a kid. Okay, so there was a lot of practicing, and then I realized I just don't have. Whatever. I don't want to talk about this. Can we go back to the robot stuff? That makes me a lot more comfortable. And you notice he's like finished half his beer already because you're making him really nervous.
What don't you have? What could you possibly not have? As a dwarf.
He just like stares at the floor and he's just like, I do not feel comfortable talking about this with you right now.
Whatever. I already know you have a bunch of other secrets. It's fine. We'll just pretend like those other things are no big deal.
You wink at him and he just like turns beet red. And he's like, yep, hold on, I think I left something in the kitchen. And he just storms off into the like kitchenette, which isn't even really a kitchen. You can still see him like in the other room, but he's just like staring at the fridge and like opens and closes it a couple of times. Like pretending like he's busy in the other room.
Sweet baby Gavin. Oh, just want to snug him, poor guy. Terrorizing. I keep drinking my beer. I watch him, but I'm calm, collected. I finally know something about him.
Sure.
Maybe I could use this as leverage in case things turn like south, you know?
Okay. So he he comes back and he's holding like a random like kitchen instrument, like a fork or something. He's like, "Yep, got it." Like tucks it into his pocket and he's like, "Okay, so let me show you." And he like go.
I
And
always leave those in the fridge. Always.
As soon as he starts talking about his like drone, it's like the nervousness kind of like goes away, where he's just like, "So check this out," and he like immediately starts to tell you about whatever this cool thing that
What progress have we made on the drone?
I mean, you're getting there. Like it's coming along, and you're picking up a lot of stuff. So
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
picking up some tips.
Is he below us or above us?
He's on the ground floor. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. So how many windows would I have to scale to make it back to the rooftop?
Well, you'd have to get up to the second level fire escape, and then from there you could just climb it.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So you guys hang out and do drone stuff for a little while.
Yep.
Crusher, while Marcellin is conducting important business meeting, what are you doing?
I think Jesus, now I sound like we.
What are you doing?
Jesus Christ. I think I go, or I catch wind that Isaiah, who is a member of Paragon, is in town, and so I go and have lunch with him.
Okay, cool.
So Isaiah was a former company man. Feel free to do whatever you want with that.
Where do the members of Paragon have lunch?
Well, since we can write it off, we go to the most prestige place that we can.
Awesome. Some like super expensive place that actually sells like meat burgers. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so you're in this like dramatically upscale restaurant. Are you dressed differently? Like, do you like wear like a suit to this meeting?
Yeah, I think I've got like maybe we have matching suits or something like that has like a P that's in red or something like that over our chest on the left-hand side. We just have like our normal suits on.
Cool. Okay. So Isaiah is like pretty heavily cybered, I think. He's sort of like God, what's the guy from Ghost in the Shell? Bato, where he's got like obvious cyber eyes.
Right.
He looks like a military tough guy. Like he's still got the haircut and everything. But maybe has like unit tattoos, or like they're like deckled onto his cyber arms. He's got them like laser etched or something.
Okay.
You both look like very slick, intimidating people, and they're giving you the treatment. You've been here before, and so the two of you are eating at this table with like a great view. So what business are you here to discuss with Isaiah?
Well, I guess I bring up the fact that like we've got a member of my old crew who's going into like Aztec lands or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know how to say the full word. And that if he knows anyone there or if he knows anything about that world that would help us, that I could pass along.
Yeah, okay. So I think in between bites of burger, he
and I think we also speak in code. We don't actually talk about the mission. Everything's like
sure. Yeah.
Not
okay.
talking about it, but still talking about it.
You've got a practiced way of
so I'm just like
obfuscating what you mean.
I start off and I'm just like, so we've got this bird, right? And this bird's going into a place that the bird's not supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Very very sophisticated code.
Yes. This is Crusher's best. Maybe he does it a lot better.
Yeah, sure. Let's just assume this conversation is happening in code. But yeah, Isaiah, in his typical fashion, basically tells you, people think as technology is so big and scary, but honestly, like they're too big to be scary, right? Like the real scary operators are small, like surgical strike types. As technology, Satercrop, these big mega corporations, they've got to deal with PR. But your shadow organizations, your black ops squads, I mean, they don't have to worry about any of that shit. So, as long as you don't have the wrong people on your tail, even corporate security is not that scary, right? You don't have to worry about them. Unless, this asset, this bird, is gonna cause trouble or like draw the attention of the wrong people, right? It's just a conversation, or you trying to extract somebody? Like,
No, it's just I don't think that the bird's gonna cause any problems. He just is going there to have a conversation, and that's it. He was real worried that he was gonna lose his head, as birds tend to do. But I was just making sure with you because I know you've dealt with them before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're no pushover, but if you're working with professionals, you should be fine. And besides, it sounds to me like these people you're talking about, your old team. I mean, it sounds like they're write-offs anyway. So what's the worst thing that happens? This one person gets taken.
I mean, look, it's a different type of relationship than we have on our crew, right? We're in it for the money. We do it for the fame. These guys, they don't have anything else to do. This is their life.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. You know what we call those in the business? Casualties, man. These people are holding you back.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I just like to take a big piece of meat and just eat it.
And it's like, it's like we always used to tease you about, man. You're the fucking softy of the unit, you big baby.
I thought we were past that, man. I thought we had put that behind us after all those jobs.
He's like, I'm just kidding. I love you, buddy. And like takes another big bite of his super expensive hamburger.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I think we just go back to like normal catch-up talk.
Yeah, just shooting the shit about whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would say Isaiah's the one member of the group that I actually got along with, like on a personal level, and the other two were just like super business. Like, Angelus is just fucking weird as shit to me, and Mr. Universe, the Decker, he's like the pro that never stops trying to be a pro.
Right.
Like, everything he does has to be like precisely done to the best of his ability.
Cool. All right. I'm making notes for later. Okay, cool. So, meanwhile, deep in Aztlan territory, Breakdown, you're escorted down this long hallway to Lupita Flores' office. It's a big office. She opens the door and you come in, and it's very tastefully decorated. You haven't spent a lot of time, I don't think, in like big expensive corporate offices, but there's like art on the wall that looks like it's expensive just by looking at it. She's got some sculpture around. She's got two big, very like fancy looking, at a glance, probably real leather couches, a big desk at the back, and sitting at her desk, not like in her chair, but on the other side, is somebody else. There's someone else in the room. You hear the door click behind you, click shut, and this other person, this woman, stands up and turns around to look at you. And Lupita says, "This is Officer Ortega. After your friends called me, she got in touch and wanted to have a word with you. Now, it's my understanding," and she looks at Officer Ortega, "you're not under arrest. Free to go anytime you want. But it's important that you cooperate with us as best you can. Sergeant Ortega has some questions before we talk, Marcellin. Please, have a seat."
My heart is like beating out of my chest, but I like manage to look fairly like, "Oh, yes, of course, anything that you need to ask me." And I just like sit down. But inside I'm just like dying. Like I knew this was gonna happen.
Okay. So you go to sit down. Sergeant Ortega, so you can see now that she's dressed basically like a cop. Like she has her like cop's like jacket over the back of the chair. Or actually it'd be hanging up. There's like a coat rack. She has a gun, like holstered under her arm, and she has a badge. It's got like a feathered serpent on it, and she goes to like shake your hand when you come over.
I shake it.
Okay, she shakes your hand and she asks you to sit down. Lupita sits down at her desk, and Lupita says, "So." Technically, I don't have to do this, but in accordance with the laws of Tir Tanger and because you're a foreign citizen, I need to ask your permission to record this conversation. And she looks down and there's like a audio recorder on her desk. Do you consent?
I consent.
Thank you. And she like clicks it on and you can see the tape start to turn. You notice now that it's like way colder in here than it was in the hallway. Like it's like not like supernaturally cold, but like you notice the chill when she turns the tape recorder on.
Mhm.
Um,
Can I look around astrally just super quick?
Sure. Yeah. So Lupita seems like, by all accounts, normal. Sergeant Ortega is awakened for sure. Though her aura, if you want to like stare at her, you could figure out in what way. But there's something magical about her for sure. Like she has like, she's awakened. She can do stuff with magic. You don't see any other like obvious magical stuff going on.
Okay.
So she says to you, what's your character's last name? Lewis?
Lewis, yeah. Or Louis.
Louis.
That's how-
All right.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
how Breakdown would pronounce it.
All right. So yeah, Sergeant Ortega says, Mr. Louis, you contacted Miss Flores several hours ago in regards to her brother. Is that correct?
Yes, that's true.
And who made that phone call? And so she's like, she's got a little like ledger, like a pad, and she's like taking notes.
Fuck, what was your name? What was your fake name?
I mean, I can tell her what my fake name is, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been weeks for you, but not, for Breakdown. Yeah, you can tell her.
What was your fake name?
I think Julia was my fake name.
Julia.
Did you give a last name?
I don't know that I ever gave a last name.
I think you did. You were using the same fake name for all of the phone calls.
I was.
Yeah, it was Julia something. But anyway, Breakdown, you would
Let's
remember.
see it. Julia
Julia-
Bentley. Julia Bentley.
Bentley, that's what it was.
From Researchium. Researchium.com.
Oh gosh. Yes, that would actually be my boss, Julia Bentley.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you worked with Ms. Bentley?
A couple of years now.
And what is it that you do at Researchium?
We do scientific research on a freelance basis, so we're contacted if someone needs a bit more help with any research that they're doing. Unfortunately, I can't tell you what we were actually researching because I'm under NDA, but...
And she looks at Flores, and they exchange a glance. And she says, so how did Mr. Flores come to your attention?
I mean, I didn't work with him personally very much, but he contacted our company and wanted some help with research that he was doing. We've been trying to get in contact with him and haven't been able to, so we reached out.
All right. And when was the last time you spoke with Mr. Flores?
I think when did we get hired? Like 2 weeks ago at this point? Would that be?
So, Mr. Burns, what's your first name?
I'm trying to remember, like, in actual, like, game time, how long have we been on this job?
Oh, not that long. Like, I think, like, less than a week, probably.
Okay. So, I think we were in contact with him about a week ago, but then he sort of fell off the radar.
A week ago, huh? And, was this a in-person conversation or over the phone or...
Julia had actual contact with him. I got most of our information secondhand.
And so what exactly is it you're here to talk to Miss Flores about today?
Well, we reached out asking about whether or not she had any contact with Javier, and she set up a meeting. I look at her to corroborate.
She just stonewalls you. She doesn't nod or anything. She's the cop takes out a manila envelope and puts it on the desk between you and says, you mind opening that envelope for me?
For me,
Yeah.
I open it.
Gestures. You know, because she's holding her pen and her notepad. She can't do both. Okay.
Right. I open it.
Okay, so inside, you know, just looking and you can't see the details. It looks like there's like a handful of like glossy photographs. She's like, take a look at those photographs for me.
I look at the photographs.
Okay. So the photos are of, you see a photo of Bonbon talking to Vladimir, the like landlord. There's several photos of the inside of Buddy's apartment, and she says, "You recognize either of those people?"
There are no photos of me, right?
Yeah, no photos of you.
Oh, but she might have photos of me.
Yeah, she wanted to be
She's
showing
not
them to
showing
you.
me.
Right.
Yes, I believe I saw this woman around a couple of times.
Where did you see this woman around a couple of times?
At the apartment complex that Javier was staying at.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah.
And how would you know that?
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Well, how do you know that this is Javier Flores' apartment?
Because we were in contact with him.
Well, sure, but and she looks at it, and there's no like, she gestures, and you can see they're just like the inside of the apartment. There's no like address shots or any of that, and she says, I thought that it was your boss that talked to Flores, not you.
Right, I've been there before though, and I like point to Vladimir and I say, "This, I definitely recognize that guy. He's around all the time."
Can you tell me more about him? Do you have a name? Any more details?
I'm really not sure what his name is. He's very vocal. He's very loud. Kind of an aggressive personality.
Are you aware that Javier Flores has been registered as a missing person?
No.
No. All right. He takes a couple more notes. Do you know what a Shadowrunner is, Marcellin?
Yes.
Are you familiar with any? Personally, I mean?
Not that I know of.
All right.
Fuck, guys, I'm so worried right now. I'm like tenser than I think I've ever been. I'm fucking everything up. I feel it. Anyways, let's continue. Mm-hmm.
She says, well, I know you two have a lot to talk about, so, and she takes a like business card out of her pocket and goes to hand it to you.
I take it.
Okay. It has the same logo, the like Aztlan police force or whatever, the like Aztlan local security. It has her name and like badge number on it and a contact phone number. And she says, like she puts her notepad down, and she looks at you and she looks at Lupita for a second, and she says, now, I know this is an intimidating situation. You're not even adjacent to your home country. You're 2 steps removed from it. You're being interrogated by the police, and I know we have a reputation. And she kind of looks around and she's like, it's by design, but I'm not trying to intimidate you, Marcellin. Mr. Flores is a troubled individual, and we need to get him back so we can get him the help he needs. He is a valuable asset to the corporation, but he has problems, and he's been missing a long time. For someone like that, we're worried that he's been hurt or is in danger. And when you called, well, you can see why we were suspicious.
Yeah, of course. I had no idea that there was such a situation. We were just, wanting to make contact, but it appears there's a lot more going on here. I'm sorry if, if we're stepping into a situation.
I just want you to know how serious this is. And if we find out that you or your associates are withholding information about this case, I mean, technically, you know, it's in a cross-border situation. The consequences are fairly severe. You understand that, don't you?
I do understand. Yes, of course.
All right. So if there's anything you remember about Javier, about his situation, about, she gestures to the photos, you need to let us know. Call that number. You can get in touch with me directly. Sergeant Ortega, all right?
Okay.
And she gets up, and she looks down at the photos on the table, and she looks at you, and she's like, you just go ahead and hang on to those. And she looks at Lupita, and she's like, Miss Flores, walks over to the coat rack, picks up her jacket, leaves the room. So the door clicks shut. And so, yeah, Lupita looks across the table at you and says, so, do you want to talk about my brother now?
Yes, I'm. Oh my goodness. Yes, I will.
Okay,
Yes.
let's give real life Dodger a break. So, I guess, like, Crusher, do you have anything that you want to do after, or like, did you go to meet with, Bonbon, or what do you do after your lunch?
I mean, I guess I would call in or give Bonbon a call.
Okay.
Just to like check in.
Sure.
But I would assume that conversation's like,
Yeah.
you waiting on the border? How's that going?
I'm waiting. I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, if he was dead already, you would have heard the sirens and everything. So you don't have to worry about it, right?
Everything's gonna be fine, Crusher. Your negativity doesn't help the situation.
I'm not being negative. I'm just saying if he
No,
was
you
dead,
said that he was
that
gonna
you would have
die.
heard everything. That's a positive way of looking at it, because he's not dead. You would
I
have
haven't
heard the
heard
sirens.
I haven't heard for breakdown yet.
Okay, well, he's not dead, so you're good. You'll hear from him soon. You're the negative one here, Bonbon.
All right, great conversation, Crusher.
Yeah, I'm glad I checked in. Let me know if Bonbon dies. Or, I'm sorry.
I'll let you know if I
Breakdown
die. Sure. All right. I love that you can't even get us. You can't tell us apart. Gee, fuck.
Can't get the
Crusher.
genders right either. Gotta mention
All right,
that one.
Look, I'm a troll. It's hard enough, all right? I
He's
look at
got 2 intelligence. Give the guy a break.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Awesome. Okay. So, Lupita says to you, Marcelin, so that's really all you know. You don't know where he is. You don't have any more information than the police.
She's talking to me now, right?
Yeah. That's you. So,
Can I before we start talking?
Yeah.
That recorder is not still in the room, right?
I mean, it's sitting on the desk. Yeah, Lupita. It's Lupita's recorder. It's still.
Okay.
You look down at it, and
I thought that it
Wheels
was
is still
the
going.
police's recorder.
No,
so I was
Lupita
like,
asked you
oh,
because she's
God.
the lawyer, but it's still
Right.
going. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you glance down at it when she asks you?
Yeah.
Okay.
For a split second.
So she kind of looks at you like you. She doesn't say anything, but she looks at you like, should I turn that off? Kind of like expectantly.
Okay. Like I look around again just to make double sure that there's no I'm part of a group that has been hired to find your brother. Not for anything, not to cause him harm, to keep him safe. And we can't find him, which is why we reached out to you.
She nods.
So I guess I'm wondering if you know anything about your brother or where he might be or any kind of leads you can give us.
Well, I mean, what do you know? Is it true what you told her the last time you saw him? And was your boss spoke to him on the phone
We've never spoken to him. We were hired after he already went missing.
By who?
Who hired us? Fuck.
Well, it came from Moto Pankeku. So
Yeah, you don't actually know this person, right? Just like a contact of someone in your group.
right.
Right. I'm honestly not sure. The leader of our group was reached out to find him. We know that he was staying at an apartment for a long time, which is the one that was in those pictures. I didn't know what else to say other than that it was his apartment. We know that he was using beetles. We found a lot of cases for them, and we know that he's gone missing.
Javier has had stress problems his whole life. He's a brilliant scientist, and the company puts a lot of pressure on its resources. Sometimes they develop ways of compensating for these things. Better than life chips were Javier's way of escaping from the work, from the pressure.
Right.
He was, the last I understood, working on some big project to protect the corn supply, to yield better growth. We have a problem with awakened pests, and so he was working with Rebecca to engineer something to combat them. It was almost finished, as far as I knew. They were going to get him help, put him in rehab as soon as the project was done.
Right.
But it was never finished, and then he disappeared. I have not spoken to him in a very long time. And now you say he's here in Seattle?
Yes.
And being looked for by, but by whom? I don't understand. The police, corporate security, they have been searching for him here and at home.
I mean, from what I understand, he left willingly, was sort of seeking sanctuary, and he was supposed to be brought into safety and was not there. So, I mean, as far as I understand it, he left of his own accord. He wanted to be in Seattle.
You don't understand how it works, do you? You've never worked for a corporation before?
No.
Some corporations, yes, you can work for them and choose to find another job. You don't like to work for Wuxing, you can work for Fuji instead. Some, this is not true. As Technology is one of those companies, especially someone who knows so much about the company, there's no free will to leave. He belongs to As Technology.
So
We want to get him back. Please, you have to understand, he'll be safest with us. We are his family. I am his family.
then why do you think he would want to leave?
He's a drug addict. How am I supposed to understand why he does anything?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's fine. They're old wounds. Listen, I need you to do something for me. I don't know your people. I don't know who you're working for, but I'm sure they are offering you a great deal of money to find my brother. I don't know that I can offer as much, but we need him back. We need to take care of him. Whoever is paying you, they're not going to help him. They just want to use him against us.
I just nod. Is there a way that a better way that we can get in touch with you in the future?
There isn't any way for you to get in touch with me, but if you can tell me a way to get in touch with you, a phone number, an address, something.
I guess there's no reason not to give her our number, right?
I plead the fifth.
Oh, But now I'm not sure if I even trust her. Can I pull the group?
I mean, this is on you, man.
Shit. Trying to remember if they already know where we live or not. I think that was last campaign where they knew where we lived. But I don't think they even know who we are this time around yet. Well, now they do. No, they do. The police have pictures of us. Fuck. I'm gonna write down a number for her.
Okay.
It's not our number.
Okay.
It's Maurice's number. Not
Okay.
not because not to be like the worst, but because he would get in contact with us if somebody was looking for us, but it won't tell them
Sure.
where we are.
Okay. So yeah, she passes you like her like legal pad for you if you want to write it down for her, and you write down the number, and she looks at it and says, "Thank you." And if you find out anything about where my brother is, please just let me know.
Yes. I mean, I can't get in touch, but we'll do our best to contact you. And this number doesn't go directly to us, you'll understand. But if you ask for us, we'll be able to connect.
I will get in touch with you soon. If, and it pains me to say so, if I were you and I were looking for my brother, knowing him as I do, I would check with Lone Star. If he's still alive, perhaps he's been put in jail. I have seen the effects of these better-than-life chips. He may not remember who he is, or even know. The police might have him, or, God forbid, the coroner.
We'll do our best.
So, unless you have more you want to ask her, she's gonna take you and head you back to the elevator.
I don't think there was anything else that we like. I feel like we didn't learn a lot, which kind of sucks. But we know that. Well, we now know that as technology doesn't have him. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what else I would even ask her.
Yeah, I guess if we asked every corporation one by one, that would narrow down the list.
Just pretend like you have
You
him
have
to
this
sell.
guy? No,
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
fine.
are you looking for
What
a
about
guy
you?
who's
Do you
like a
have this guy?
specialist? Yeah.
Cool. Cool. All right, then I'll leave then.
Okay. All right. So it takes you a little while, but eventually, yeah, you go back out through customs again, and you're back out in the smoggy streets of Seattle. It's dark now, and you can see across the street there's this like internet cafe where Bon Bon awaits.
Okay, I go there. I try to walk there as casually as I can.
Okay. All right. So Bon Bon, you hear the tinkling of the bell at the door, and you look up and you see Breakdown come in.
Breakdown! I knew you wouldn't. How'd it go?
I mean, I sit down. So, I was interrogated.
Are you okay?
Yes, but they have pictures of you at the apartment, I had to pretend I didn't know you, which I'm sure you'll understand.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be talking to me right now. Maybe we should just go back to the house and take care of this.
That's true. I didn't think of that. Yeah, we should probably leave, huh?
No, I will not date you. I don't know who you are. What is this? This person is bothering me in this establishment. I'll meet you at the house. Can I please get back to the Matrix already?
Just like, get up and leave. Like,
All right. So do you all debrief at the house then? Is that the plan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So several hours later, you're all back at Casa de Bondown, and debriefing the mission. So maybe like break down your finishing explaining, because I mean we all heard it, but maybe you're like in character finishing explaining what happened.
ta-da.
Yeah.
There it is.
So as technology knows that we're on to Javier, and they want to find Javier, but so does Lupita, but she doesn't necessarily want as technology to find him. Is that?
No, I think Lupita does want as technology. Like, in her mind, as technology is like their family. It's their everything. So she almost can't comprehend this idea that he would leave unless it was only about the drugs.
The evidence they had of us going to the apartment, could you describe it again?
Maybe you have the photos.
Yeah, I have the photos. So they're just photos of Bonbon with
There's only one photo with people in it, and it's a photo of Vladimir and Bonbon having a conversation in the lobby of the building. There's lots of photos of the room, like photos of like stains on the carpet and like the window, and like they look like crime scene photos. They don't have the like tape up or anything, but they're obviously like high quality like flash photos of specific stuff.
Okay, so they just know about you, Bonbon. That's it. We're safe.
I mean, as far as we know, these are the only photos that they showed me, but they might have more. We were all there that day.
Well, I mean, I was not in the photo. I'm too careful. I'm good. They only have Bonbon.
Fresher went at night, so maybe the surveillance didn't get them. I was really stealthy. I'm actually really good at that. As you can see, like no one can resist taking the picture of me, and yet there's no picture of me. So if Bonbon just like dyed her hair, maybe.
Okay. So from what I can tell, right? As technology doesn't have him, which I think was our primary concern.
That's a good thing.
Right? Yeah. So but then we still have no idea who does. Unless there's a... So he was working on something with corn and trying to figure out enlightened insects that were ruining corn. What if there's like a group that's separate from as technology, but like sort of part of it that wants him instead? Which would explain why there's blood magic everywhere.
Blood mages are really into the corn industry right now, right?
I mean,
they really want it destroyed.
Human sacrifice for corn. I mean, corn does like blood sacrifice, so.
Hee hee hee.
She did say we should check with Lone Star and see if he's just in jail, and we just don't know.
I mean, I think that's a pretty good idea, actually.
Yeah, can't you just hack him up?
Yeah, can't you just computer the jail?
Just type some buttons and make it happen.
Computer the
Snippy
jail.
snap.
I mean, you know...
www.jail.net.
Yep,
No,
did it.
/ Javier.
I got in.
Could-
I feel like this is when a
Hashtag
school
where?
breakdown on how no, you don't computer in, you computor in.
I think it'd just be better to maybe call Lone Star. I mean,
Just ask for Javier.
I think it'd be okay to ask if there have been any recent arrests of an individual named Javier. Yes. However, why do I feel like I have a Lone Star guy in my... No, I don't.
I thought.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
I have Sam Cutter, the police dispatcher.
He was from the very
Yeah.
beginning.
Yes,
I was
he
gonna
was.
say we used him at the very beginning of this shit.
Yeah, just
Okay.
just call your old buddy Sam up.
I'm gonna call Sam up.
Okay. You gonna do that right now?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do it right now.
What's his name?
Sam Cutter. He's a
Cutter.
police dispatcher for Lone Star.
Oh, okay.
He gave us
Alright.
some information a long
remember,
long time ago.
Okay. Well, why don't you roll just roll a charisma check?
Circles?
No, you got him. You don't have to roll circles. Make a
Okay. Well, they're
make
the
a
same.
circles check, and then or a charisma check, and then we'll see. That'll determine what he knows, like the qualifying data there.
Roll.
There it is. 2 successes. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, you call Sam up, and what are you asking him? Like, what do you
Sam,
want-
it's Bon. I need a favor, frankly. I'm looking for a guy. We've been doing some digging, and he was known to participate in some extracurricular activities, the kind that might land him in jail. Just want to know if maybe you can tell me if this guy, Javier Flores, has been arrested in the last week.
So Flores. It sounds Aztlan.
Yeah.
Is he Aztlan by what, marriage, or am I looking for like a Mexican guy or what?
Yeah, as far as I know, his family is all...
Ethnic. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm looking through the records. You can hear him typing. He's like talking in his headset. He's like, and what kind of drugs your boy do?
Well, he's into the Beatles.
All right. Chiphead. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no Flores, but it looks like an Officer Wu collared some guy a little while ago, a couple of days. We got a John Doe here, matches the description.
In the jail right now?
No, he was turned loose. Not a danger to himself or others. Pretty addled, though. Guy didn't have any ID. Didn't know his own name or where he lived.
How
I mean,
long
we're not
ago?
a hotel, so...
How long ago was this?
About a week. 6 days?
Would that have even lined up with our
Yeah.
timing?
I think so. It's supposed to, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He says, yeah, Wu's working out of Kirkland. You could talk to him.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sam, I appreciate it. You need anything, you give me a call.
Yeah, just call me sometime I don't need something.
Have you not been getting my emails? Like, all right,
I don't
all
get
right.
your emails. I haven't talked to you in 6 months. Come on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
We're gonna go get a beer sometime. You can tell me about your new boyfriend. I hear things. I talked to your mom the other day. She calls me more often than you do.
Sam, in fact, she's calling me right
dating an
now,
elf
and
now.
you know how she
That's-
could be. So
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom's calling me too. Okay.
Exa-
Yeah, all right. Have a good one.
All right.
I liked that Shadowrunner Hong Kong reference there as well. Just throwing that out there.
I gotta get
I
on that. I've just been
so-
watching people play it.
I let
people
everyone
here.
know about Officer Wu.
Okay.
And so, would it have been a week ago then that we actually talked to Dr. Hotshot too?
No, it's only been a few days before, but it would have been shortly after he arrived.
That he was arrested?
in town. Yeah, that he was arrested.
Okay.
You want to take a break while you think? Does that work?
Yeah. Let's take a break, and then you guys can decide
Good
what you
time.
want to do next.
Cool. All right, let's take a 5-minute break. We still got 2 hours left to go, so don't go anywhere. More role play coming up right after this. We'll see you guys in just a bit.